Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm just going to introduce myself briefly and then reintroduce the topic that we're going to be talking about. Today, we're going to be talking about educational content and how to use this within your strategy on many different verticals. So, not just on social, how to use this in blog posts, email, um, in video. If you have a podcast or you're looking to be a guest on the podcast, this is a great way to represent yourself and be a leader in the industry, or hosting webinars for clients as well. Education is the best way now to get people interested in what you're selling. It no longer, it works sometimes to just do a call to action, like get a quote now, but most people want to be educated and they want to know why it is important to insure their business. And that's where you come in. You're the expert in this, and you have the resources, the tools, and the education to provide education to your audience. And I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Paige, and I'm the social media manager here at Coterie. So, educational content, how to attract small business to you. So let's dive in. Types of educational content. There's blogs, and then there's videos that you can release on Instagram as a reel, on TikTok, or on YouTube. There's also podcasts, so you could have your own podcast, or you could be a guest on other people's podcasts. This is a great way to actually not have a big uplift on your end. If you're a guest, the only time it takes you to basically make that podcast is the hour or so that is scheduled in your calendar to have that interview. And then other than that, the other person who has the podcast is going to release that content for you. And then you have content that you can use and repurpose on your social media platforms. Other pieces of content are webinars, and then you can always put educational content in emails. So I'd love to know from you, are you currently creating any educational content? Do you currently have a blog? Are you currently creating social media posts that are educational, that explain the type of services that you provide? I would love to know in the chat. Let me know what type of educational content you're providing. And if you want, send a link so you can inspire others to start doing this as well. Okay, so creating educational content seems like a really big uplift, right? Like, where are you going to find the time to write all these blogs? Where are you going to find the time to make all these videos? There are easy ways to do this. You can always repurpose or share reels, TikToks, and blogs, as long as you have the permission to do so. Reels makes it super easy. If people have their reel on public, you can remix it, and then you can provide your thoughts as well. TikTok has the same thing as well. So you can always respond to TikToks by making another TikTok. And then you can repurpose blogs with permission, or collaborate with others on a blog post, or collaborate on other projects like a podcast or a webinar. This way, you're not doing 100% of the work, you're doing 50% of the work. And the biggest one is use ChatGPT, which we're going to talk about really briefly. This is just a really brief overview of ChatGPT. If you're already using it, let me know in the chat. I would love to know how you're using it, if you like it, if it's working for you, if it's not working for you, and hopefully some of these tips and tricks will help it work for you. Okay, so best practices. I'm gonna give you 3 rules of thumb. You wanna give a specific prompt. You don't always have to settle with the first response. And then make sure you edit it. ChatGPT isn't perfect, it's not human, and it might not have the answer or the response that you actually want, but it's a great starting point. So I am providing an example that I put into ChatGPT. I said, act as an independent insurance agent that wants to reach ice cream shop business owners through educational blog posts. Provide a blog outline about getting a business owner's policy. Include coverage options that you can get with Coterie Insurance. So what it came back with is a really nice outline. However, I noticed that B, C, and D were not specific things that are mentioned on our website, and not things that we would want to call out as a Coterie for Coterie Insurance, and especially not D. So how are we going to change this? How are we going to get ChatGPT to come back with a different outline? I didn't ask it to remove that just yet. My next prompt was, based on the outline provided, write the blog post for an insurance agency called My Insurance Agency. This is where you put your insurance agency name. Before this prompt, I just had ChatGPT use My Insurance Agency. It came back with a really well-written blog post, but again, calling out wrong coverages and products. So now I want to change that. I also noticed there was a lot of other things I wanted to rework, like maybe some headers of the content. I might not want to say conclusion. I circled that. And those are all edits I would make afterwards. So the prompt was, can you fact check the products that Coterie Insurance offers? Insert website, always providing some context to ChatGPT works. And then please update the blog accordingly. And it did so. So at the top, you'll see that this was what it said, and then this is how it changed it. And you can see it even included My Insurance Agency as the name, and this is where you would insert the name of your insurance agency. So that is ChatGPT for a blog post. We could also have furthered this conversation with ChatGPT and ask it to maybe optimize it for SEO, or we could have asked it for meta descriptions and things like that. Furthering the conversation and talking with ChatGPT like it's a human is what's going to get you the best response, and always prompting it specifically. So if you wanted this to be SEO optimized, I would say to ask it to act like an SEO specialist. So then now it knows, now I'm an SEO specialist and I'm going to read this blog like an SEO specialist. The more specific you are, the better the response is going to be. So I'm going to give a social media example in ChatGPT. The prompt that I put in is act as an independent insurance agent trying to attract small business owners in the retail industry using Instagram Reels. The goal of the reel is to educate the user on business owners' policies, provide one script that doesn't involve taking video of myself, but rather uses stock footage and the text on screen method. These scripts should make a 10 to 12-second reel. So I was as specific as I thought I wanted to be, and it came back with this script response. I didn't hate it. So the only thing I didn't really love is the video option that it provided. So where it says scene, that would be the video that you would place in there. And I updated that with a different stock video, which I'm going to show you on the next slide. So using Canva, which previously we've talked about using Canva to create content, I created these 5 different projects or pages within Canva. And at the end, this would be one full reel. I would put all of these videos together to create one 10-second reel. And I used the exact script. I put protect your business with a business owner's policy on the first screen. This is, then I put, is your business protected? And we have a video playing here. Business owner's policy, the comprehensive solution. We have someone going through files, looking at paper, and then get peace of mind for your business today. And we have a happy, satisfied business owner. And then at the end, you could put your logo and say, follow us for more insurance education. So now you may be asking, how long did this take? I promise you, to make this presentation, to put it all on this presentation, to ask ChatGPT and to make this reel, it took me 20 minutes. So that was 2 pieces of content plus this presentation. I'll count as a piece of content. It took me 20 minutes. I get it. I've used ChatGPT before, but it doesn't take long. Writing a blog post actually maybe could tell you if you wrote it without the help of ChatGPT could take upwards of an hour, maybe a little bit more. But if you're Ashley, it could take 30 minutes because she's an expert and she writes the blogs for Coterie. But this is a time saver. So I know we went over this previously on how to create a project within Canva. I am going to show you now how to create the exact reel that I have in this presentation. I'm just going to move this over so I can see it while I do this. So basically what I did is I did create design and I did mobile video. And you click into that. What are we going to do first? The first page is going to be a photo because it's going to be the cover photo of the reel as well. This is the image I used, but you can type in retail store to find an image. This is from the same store. I'm going to resize it. Perfect. What you can also do is you can save this photo so you don't lose it if you ever want to revisit it or reuse it. Then we're going to add the text. I use our brand kit over here, so these are our fonts, and I will add it to the image. I didn't capitalize that. I'm going to give it a background. I'm going to put it in our colors, do a transparent look. We want the font to be white. Yeah. The back one, go to the front. Now we're going to go into our video. We're going to find retail store. Shopping. This is the video that I use. I can drag it and place it, and it's the full screen already. We can also move it to wherever we want. And then we want to shorten this to around 2 seconds or so. I'm going to copy this over. Is your business protected? Next, we're going to look at reading files. Let's see if this is right. Reading paperwork. I used this video, so we can always add it to the folder so we don't forget it. Copy over this text. homeowners policy, we had its solution. I want to shorten this. And last video, copy business owner. Perfect. This is the video, just like that. Shorten it a little bit. And get peace of mind for your business. Middle. And then last, we're going to change this background color. I'm going to go in to our brand, add our logo, and then add our text. Say, follow us for more insurance education. You can always change that to like read the caption for more details, things like that. And then all you're going to do at the end of this is click share and then download as an MP4. I'm going to download all 5 pages. Click download. I'm going to make sure that everything is exactly how you want it though, so you can preview it. Last thing you can do as well is add music. You can preview the music, and once you like it, you can drop it in. Or when you go to upload this into Instagram, you can add a sound from there. And that's how you make this piece of content on Canva. I also wanted to expand on best practices. So I went over the 3 tips in the beginning. Jordan Wilson of the Everyday AI podcast says it like this, which I'm going to provide these phrases for you because it's easier to remember. Prime, prompt, and polish. So I didn't technically prime ChatGPT in my prompts. This is more of a method that you may be used to seeing or you may be doing, or maybe you are skipping the step where you would say act as, or you are a independent insurance agent. Um, Other prompts that you can use are other prompts that you can use are act as a world-class marketer, act as a world-class marketer that specializes in helping independent insurance agents reach small business owners. You can get very detailed with this and you can get as specific as possible. ChatGPT has billions and billions of job descriptions built into it. It scans the web for all of this information. You can prompt it to be many things. And that being as specific as possible will get you the best response. So you can prime it first by telling it who you want it to be. You can have a conversation to make sure they even understand the direction that you want to go in. You can provide them information about your tone of voice, your audience, your brand, and then you can give the full prompt like, okay, now that you know who you are, can you provide me an outline of a blog post on XYZ? And then always make sure you polish it. First response might not be the best response. Read through it, ask ChatGPT to do some edits, and yeah, those are I just want to expand. So prime, prompt, polish. And then last tip is I didn't know if you guys knew this, but your prompts are saved within ChatGPT. So when you prime ChatGPT, if you want it to act like an independent insurance agent, if you want it to act like a world-class marketer, if you wanted it to act like an SEO specialist, you can actually save those prompts. So when you want to return to that work that you did, so maybe you primed it so well and you were so happy with the SEO specialist that you created in ChatGPT, you can return to that. And you don't ever have to reprime to be an SEO specialist or to be a blog and copywriter or a world-class email marketer. You can save them, return to it, and then provide a prompt based on the criteria you already inputted and provided ChatGPT. Okay, I know that was a lot. I throw a lot at you guys really, really fast. I try to get this content in under 30 minutes, so we have time for questions. So if we have any questions, please feel free to, I think I gave you the option to take yourself off mute, and so you can do that. Or if I didn't by accident, you can type it in the chat. I'm going to give you guys some time. I do have a guide that I'm going to put a link to in the chat. And this is the beginner's guide to ChatGPT, and it's everything that we just went over, all the words that I said that weren't on the screen, and everything in between. So you can use that to, or you can download that link to download the content. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, CJ. Thanks, Ashley. And thanks, Leah. Talk to you guys later.
Take care. See you next
Bye.
month.